Hey everybody, today is October 12th and we're very excited to present Sage's litter to you. We have been anxiously awaiting this arrival, as have many of you, and we're very pleased that these pups are all here. They're healthy and well. These pups were born October 10th. Her delivery started late the evening of the 9th, and pups started arriving about 2:30 in the morning on the 10th, and they just kept on coming out. So we've got 8 pups to share with you, and we have 4 boys and 4 girls. So you're gonna hear Sage in here huffing and puffing away. We have to keep things nice and toasty for the pups to stay healthy. They very much need the supplemental heat, and so Sage is feeling that right now. So she does fine. We give her lots and lots of water, but she's gonna huff and puff a little bit. So we've got the pups all ready to go to introduce them to you and tell you a little bit about them. We had Sage outside taking a break while we were making our notes and doing our weights for the day, and putting our thoughts together for this video. And so we brought Sage in, and it had been a little bit since she had nursed the pups, and by the time she got in, these pups were they were swimming in milk. It was just going all over the place. So you might notice some of the pups, like Mr. Blue here, his back leg is a little wet. You might notice some of them look a little bit wet, so that's why. Sage is just a fabulous lactator. She produces a lot of milk, and the pups are going to show that. They're going to grow well and do well. So Sage tends to have larger pups at birth, and they tend to be a little bit larger as adults. Sage is a big female, and our River that we've bred her with is a big male, and so we generally get larger pups out of them, and they generally are a little bit larger adults in the long run. So yeah, you lay down, take a good little nap, okay? You did great. You did great. So her pups are pretty good sized pups, and even her smallest pup is on the large side of the scale as far as the average goes, a little bit above the 50th percentile. And so we're going to introduce these pups to you. So we're actually going to start with Sage's smallest pup and share her with you. We're going to start with the girls, and her smallest pup happens to be a girl, and so that's Miss Teal right here. So she's doing really well, even though she's the smallest out of all 8 of these. She's actually not necessarily a small pup as far as the average size of pups goes. So I'm gonna kind of set the camera up so that I can hold the pups and move them around a little bit, and are you gonna be over here snoring? Listen to that. Oh yeah. You're gonna be over here kind of snorting over here, huh? So anyways, give me a minute. I will kind of reposition my little tripod camera holder for the GoPro, and we'll kind of get set up and show these pups to you. Okay, I think we are ready to introduce these pups to you. So I'm just gonna take them one by one and show you their unique characteristics about them, tell you a little bit about their weight and their markings and whatnot. Overall, right now, their colors are very close together. There's some slight differences, but there's no pronounced super dark pups or super light pups. Right now, some of the differences that we're seeing almost kind of just depends on the angle of the light that we're seeing on them, but they're really close in color, so I probably won't say a lot about the unique color differences until they're a little bit older and we can kind of see how their next stage of their puppy coats are coming in. So we're just going to focus on some of their markings and what they look like that way, and then we'll kind of go from there. So Miss Teal, she's going to be first. So this is Miss Teal, and kind of hold her up for the camera to get some close-ups. Just absolutely darling, doing very well, very healthy. I apologize, the white balance on our cameras, sometimes this teal color and the blue color, they might look pretty close together at times. We'll do our best that way to tell you who's who. But this is Teal, and she is 11.2 ounces. So even though she's the smallest out of the pups, she's actually not small as a pup in general. But you might look at her and say, oh, she's a lot smaller than the others, which is true. But for a pup, Vizsla pup, she's actually pretty good size as far as that goes. So you can tell that she's hunting around, trying to look for mama, trying to nurse on my hands a little bit, and that's great. That's what they spend their time doing. She's got some fuzz in her toenails from the blanket here. But I'm going to turn her over, kind of show her off to you. She has very slight marking up underneath her collar area on her neck. I'm going to try to hold her and comfort her. This is not a normal position for the pups. Sometimes they want to wiggle out. Right here under her collar area, there's just a very slight marking. And so she's going to have that. It'll probably stay for the long run for her. It might lighten up a little bit, but I think it's going to stay. It'll probably be under her collar area and hardly noticeable for the most part. It's the chest markings that are more prominent and visible at times. Sage, this is her turn to be on camera. Leave her alone. Yes, I know. You want to give her kisses. So this is Miss Teal, and we are very happy she's doing well. So next up, we're going to do Miss Yellow. Actually, she's still nursing right back here. We're going to leave her alone for just a minute, since we've got Pink right up front, and she's taking a nap. We'll do her next. So Miss Pink here, she's 16.2 ounces, so she's a pretty good sized pup. Their birth weight was a little bit less than this. They've grown a couple ounces since birth, and they've been nursing really heavily, so they have grown a little bit since day 0 for them, right after they were born. But she's definitely doing well at 16.2 ounces at 2 days old. So you can see big round tummy. You can kind of see the difference between her and Teal right here, and doing really well that way. So her unique things on Pink, you may have noticed when I rolled her over, she's got a definite chest marking. Kind of looks like a number 7. So she's lucky number 7 on her chest mark. So kind of a unique pattern there. I have never seen one that looks like that before. But this is Miss Pink. I know, Sage, you want to give them kisses and loves. It's their turn to be on camera, though. Okay? And so this is Miss Pink. Oh my goodness, did you see that adorable little yawn? So Miss Pink is doing really well and growing like a weed. Doing fabulous. So no markings on her toes. She's solid on her toes. And so was Teal. I forgot to show you Teal's toes, but Teal's feet were solid as well. So that's Miss Pink at 16.2 ounces with the chest mark that looks like a number 7. So we've got purple and yellow left to share with you out of the girls. They're both nursing. I'm wondering who should we pick on first to pull away from Mama and show them to the camera. Let's do Miss Purple. She's kind of tucked in there. She's been in there a little while. Hi, Miss Purple. Hello. So this is Miss Purple, and she's got the milk hangover going on. Look at that face with her tongue out. Oh, she just is nursing back there and doing well. So Miss Purple is 17.6 ounces, and she is solid. So she may have the very slightest hint of some lighter hairs on her cowlick right here. But if I turn her and change the angle, it almost looks like those go away. It's really hard at this stage. Their coat colors shine so much. The shine can sometimes look like white hairs at this age. The hairs are so short. Sometimes it's really hard to see if that's going to be a definite marking. But she's clear on her neck. Just that little chest marking there. So, and then solid on her toes. So that's Miss Purple for you, and just adorable, cute as can be. So Miss Purple at 17.6 ounces. Miss Yellow's next. So we're gonna be mean, and I can tell she's still really actively nursing. So sorry, Miss Yellow. Sorry, gonna bring you over here. So you can see she's a little wet right there on the neck. By the time we got Sage back in here, after giving her a break outside, I mean, there was just milk everywhere here in their whelping area. And so some of these pups had a little milk bath, and she still has a wet spot on her chin from that. So the milk was just dripping out of her. And so this is Miss Yellow. She is 17.4 ounces. So doing really well. Big healthy pup. And if I tip her up a little bit, she has just the ever so slightest marking on her chest. Again, that's probably 1. It's a little hard to tell if that's just the angle of the light, or if she actually has a marking. And then on her neck area, she's got 2 very, very slight spots right under her collar area, and so she may have a marking that's gonna stay with her under her collar area as well. And then on her toes, she's got some marked feet. Her back right paw there has some definite light hairs across these back toes, and then her back left paw also has some definite light hairs across those toes. So very slightly marked on the chest, very slightly marked under her collar area, and then definite markings on her back left toes. So that's Miss Yellow for you, and she is just gonna crash. She's got a milk coma going on, huh? She's nursing. So that's all the girls. We've got the 4 girls right here. We've got yellow, purple, teal, and pink, and we're very happy to have the 4 girls. So next we'll move on to the boys. I'm thinking I'm gonna grab Mr. Orange next. He's kind of over here off to the side, And as I put him down, I'll put Mr. Orange over here by the other boys so you can see them all side by side. Mr. Orange, not quite the biggest pup, but almost the biggest pup. He's 18 ounces. And so I'll wake him up, get him a little closer to the camera for you. And so this is Mr. Orange. He's doing really good. And I will roll him over, show him off to you. He's got a little small circular mark right on his chest. It's almost dead center, just off center there, just off to the left. And then on his neck and collar area, it appears to be clear that way. His back right paw, I'm going to say he's got a couple of light hairs on this one toe right there. So on his back right paw, he's got a couple light hairs. So he's going to have a little toe mark there. Hi, Sage. Hello. I know you're doing so good to let me play with your pups for a minute. So that is Mr. Orange. So we will let him resume his little nap and time with his siblings. And then we will go to probably Mr. Gray. He's sitting right here, just right by the camera. So this is Mr. Gray, and he is the biggest pup out of all of them. He's 18.2 ounces. So he might be about the same size as Mr. Orange. Our scale has a little bit of a fluctuation on it, especially just as the scale's getting a final readout, it can fluctuate like 0.2 ounces. So he and Mr. Orange could be the same size, but he might be just a hair bigger. He bounced the scale to 18.2 ounces as it was getting us at the final reading. So I will roll him over and show him to you. His toes are clear. He does have a slight chest mark right here across the chest, and then he's got a slight mark right there in the collar area. And so he's going to be a marked pup, but very lightly marked. And this is Mr. Gray. We're excited to share him with you. So next, we will do Mr. Blue. He is not nursing at the moment, so we'll pull him out of his little napping spot, show him off to you. So this is Mr. Blue. He's the smallest of the boys, but not by much. He's 15.6 ounces, and so he's doing good that way. He's got some fuzz on his toes from the blanket here. So if I roll him back, he's got a definite marking that extends from his chest cowlick. There's a little bit of a line that goes under the collar area, and he has a definite marking right there on his collar area, so on his neck. So that's kind of a fun little spot there. And then his toes are solid looking right now, and so that is Mr. Blue. So 15.6 ounces on Mr. Blue, and just a happy, healthy pup. And Mr. Brown is down in the middle of the doggy pile, and I have to dig him out. He's our last one to show to you, last but not least for sure. Come here, Mr. Brown. I'm sorry. I'm going to pull you off of nursing. I know how rude that is. Stop you right in the middle of your mealtime. But we're going to show you off. So Mr. Brown, he's 15.8 ounces. He has a definite chest mark right there, quite pronounced. Almost symmetrical, very close to being symmetrical there. And nothing under his collar or neck. And And then his toes, his feet. I'm thinking they're pretty solid looking. There might be a light spot on his back right there. So he might have some markings on a toe back in there. So this is Mr. Brown, 15.8 ounces. So very close in size to Mr. Blue. And this is all of the 8 pups right here together nursing away. I hope you've been able to hear the audio okay over Sage panting. I apologize if that's a little bit distracting, but we had her away from the pups long enough. We wanted to do the video and share this with you. All the pups are doing really good. Oh, their tails are still full length at the moment. Tomorrow we have the appointment with the vet to have them docked. So we leave 2/3 and the vet takes the bottom third off. And so that, I don't know if you can tell on Vizslas, but that little length, extra length on the tail gets very narrow very fast. And well, with how active the pups are, they're prone to many injuries on their tails if they're left undocked. It's not super common to have the injuries, but it's definitely possible. And tail injuries are prolific bleeders, and we've actually had those happen with our Vizslas. Even with a docked tail, we've had some injuries in the past, and man, those things really bleed. And so we don't enjoy the process of having tails and dew claws done. We're happy to do those for our families and have the pups have less problems down the road. So we're excited to share these pups with you and let you see them a little bit up close and take a look at them. We'll be posting this video soon, and then we're happy to answer any questions that families have. So we'll be in touch. We'll be posting videos regularly about the progress of the pups and as they grow. Our goal is to get a video done about once a week. Now, there's not a whole bunch of change from day to day, but from week to week there is quite a bit of change. So we like to do those videos about every week. Sometimes it's about 10 days apart, but we'll do those and let you experience the growth of these pups and as they develop. So have a great day. Talk to you later.